Hi, and welcome to Comics and Cosplay. As always, I'm your host Ian from Saturday Morning Cosplay. And in today's episode, we'll be doing another movie review of Marvel's new feature-length animated film, Avengers Confidential, Black Widow and Punisher. The basic plot of the movie is that Punisher accidentally stumbles across a top-secret S.H.I.E.L.D. mission and interferes with it from being successfully carried out. He's taken into custody by Natasha Romanoff and S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, aka the Black Widow. Nick Fury then orders the two to work together to help stop this terrorist organization called Leviathan from selling stolen S.H.I.E.L.D. weapons and technology to the highest bidder with these globally threatening and dangerous weapons. So let's start off by talking about a few things I really enjoyed about the movie. First, I really liked they chose to focus this movie on Black Widow and Punisher instead of the typical Avengers cast. I thought this gave them freedom to tell a new and original story and could be more creative in thinking outside the box. Plus, since these are two characters that are not heavily tied to the Avengers franchise, it wouldn't be mired in all the backstory and history and potential plot devices that are going to be used in future Avengers stories. Next, what I really liked about the movie was the animation style. Instead of a traditional Western look and feel, they went for a much more anime feel to the show. I think this was a real breath of fresh air and helped it stand out from other cartoons like Ultimate Spider-Man and Avengers Assembled. Plus, I like it when they take these risks and try out new styles and arts with these characters that we're used to seeing in one traditional setting. My only gripe is that the anime influence seemed to over-enhance certain characters' power sets a little too much. For example, Black Widow has the ability to jump several stories in the air. While I understand she was always a very agile character, she never had this super enhanced power set, and I felt that took away from the character and made them feel too much like they were in an episode of Naruto rather than in the Marvel Universe. So now let's talk about a few things I didn't like about the movie, and they all fall under the plot and writing for the movie. It's incredibly simplistic and predictable where the story is going to go, and they're trying to do so many things here and there that they never go in depth in certain areas that are necessary to make the story more fleshed out and believable. Plus, characters' motivations seem random and predictable at certain points because we didn't get that necessary backstory or time with them to really learn and understand the character's true thought process. Here are a few examples of what I'm talking about. First, there's a love story in the movie that plays an incredibly prominent role, which would be okay if we understood the backstory of these characters and understanding why they got together or why they ultimately fell apart. The main problem is, since we don't get that, we don't have this emotional connection to these characters being together as a couple, and these scenes in the movie really weigh down the entire movie as a whole. Also suffering from this problem is the main villain of the movie. We don't understand his backstory and why he's compelled to take all these incredibly elaborate steps he does throughout the movie. And he's ultimately defeated by someone just giving him a stern talking to. The movie tries to switch it up and then insert a new surprise villain, but by the time we get to this point, this character is completely brand new, and we have no connection to him or understanding what he's even doing in the movie or why he's compelled to try to take on the Avengers now. Additionally, the movie adds this teen, geeky, prodigy genius character that's supposed to be helping Black Widow and Punisher solve the mystery. The only problem is he's really annoying and doesn't really help drive the story, nor is he even really good comedic relief. It's almost as if someone watched a bunch of Japanese anime and thought the best thing to add to American cartoons is the perverted hentai character. One of the strangest aspects of the movie is some of the voice acting decisions, or lack thereof I should say, given the fact that certain characters never speak throughout the entire movie. They add Captain Marvel, Iron Man, War Machine, and the Hulk, and some of these characters we never hear speak. I don't really understand what was the point of adding them if they never get a moment to talk. It almost feels like Marvel is trying to add characters so that when they created the trailer, they could have screen grabs of Captain Marvel blasting away heroes so they could capitalize on her enormous amount of popularity, and hopefully that would translate into sales. Unfortunately, it makes the movie feel a little weird and disjointed to have characters that are just virtually mute, even especially certain outspoken and talkative characters like Rhodey and Captain Marvel. Normally on Comics and Cosplay, we not only review just the plot, but the costume changes and art direction for the movie as well. However, there weren't any major changes to the art or the costumes in this movie. Everyone's in pretty much their traditional iconic costumes throughout the cast, so there isn't really much to talk about on this topic. Here are my concluding thoughts about the movie. If you remember a few weeks ago, I did a Justice League War review of that animated film. And much like that movie, I feel the same about this in that I don't know who it's for. It has a lot of adult themes such as violence and language, but the writing's so simplistic you would imagine it's for a children's cartoon show or a Saturday morning cartoon. And actually, I liked Justice League War better. I thought it had a better plot line, and I at least understood the characters' motivations a lot better in that movie than I do in this one. I would just wait and see if this movie shows up on Netflix. It's not something you need to run out and pay for on Blu-ray today. There's nothing that original or thought-provoking that it must be seen immediately. It just ultimately feels like it's a cash grab by Marvel to capitalize on the already hot Avengers brand name as well as popular characters like Captain Marvel. And that's it for today's episode. But what did you think about Avengers Confidential, Black Widow, and Punisher? Did you guys like it? Did you think Marvel's animation department took a step in the right direction? As well as, what duo would you like to see get their own animated feature-length film? Let us know in the comments section down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel as we do a variety of different videos that you won't want to miss, such as our Commumentary series, where we feature some of the best cosplayers at various conventions from around the world, as well as our tutorial series, where we give detailed tutorials on how you can make a character's costume from specific comic books. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Comics and Cosplay, as I post links to various other cosplay tutorials, as well as give you updated con information, as well as let you know which cons we'll be attending next, so you can maybe be featured in one of our videos. As always, I'm your host Ian from Saturday Morning Cosplay, and I'll see you on the con floor.